You serious?
Happy New Year. Welcome to How to Kill an Hour. My name is Marcus Bronzy.
And I am producer Bill, and it's a brand new year.
Happy New Year, Bill.
Happy New Year, bruv.
2020. Just like my vision, bro.
2020,
2020. What kind of vision have you got? Do you wear glasses? Are you 2022?
I don't wear no glasses, no.
Have you ever? When did you last go to the opticians?
When I had an issue with my eye.
What happened to your eye?
I was playing football,
Yeah.
and we both kicked the ball, and the ball got trapped between our feet and came up and stonked me in the face.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see briefly out of one eye, and I could see like black markers around it. Turns out, went to the doctor, or the optician, sorry, looked inside it. Turns out I had blood. What's that word beginning with H when you've got blood around your eye? Or blood just bits in your eye?
Hematoma or something like that?
Is it hemorrhage?
Hemorrhage, that's the one, yeah.
I got blood like hemorrhages that was just floating around my eye, and the fact that I had a black line was just blood in front of my vision.
You were seeing red?
Yeah, well, no, it was
Claret?
Yeah.
Seeing black?
It was a very, very, very worrying period.
How long did it take to clear up?
Not long, but now they say you'll see floaters in your eyes every now and then, but because my eyes got used to it, I don't see the floaters anymore.
Oh,
but
cool.
if it's like a very nice blue day, and I look in the sky, saying I'll see them floating around in there, but other than that, it's fine.
Oh, fair enough. My eyes are fine.
So yeah, other than that, my eyes are fine. Although there was one year I did get to the optician. By the time I'm like 50 odd, I might need glasses. So
I will have bionic eyes by then, Bill. Don't worry, man. Don't worry about that. I have 20/20 vision, but I've not been to the opticians for ages. So until I go back, I'm sticking with 20/20 vision, mate. Fact.
Although Elon Musk said that we might be able to download our brains at some point. So hopefully by the time I'm 50, I could download my brain, put it to someone else, and I'll be just living forever.
Whatever, Elon, man. Charlie Brooker wrote that in Black Mirror, so Elon said it afterwards. That's what happened. So this is the Best of the Year episode, and coming up over the next episode, we have got clips from Rick Edwards, Otis, Jimmy and Nigel, aka the Glassmates, giving us some alcoholic and tech knowledge. We've got So Solid Swiss and Funk Butcher, obviously regular presenter on the show. Dev talking about everything from condoms to SAS and the magnificent Jazzy Jeff. Also, James Haskell. We've got clips from our best bits of the year. This is a summary of some of our finer points from the podcast, things that really stood out to us. So over the next few minutes, we are going to be discussing those. First things first, though, I want to talk about a few things throughout the year that I've really enjoyed and we've not had a chance to talk about on the show. Now, during the summer, Bill, I had a nice little getaway. I happened to be in Italy. I'm not a big fan of some parts of Italy, right? Rome and Venice. Do you know why, Bill?
Tell me.
Too many tourists. Us, we spoil it. There's too many of us hanging around in the way, especially Venice. Like, I've got to say, like, just, it's such a beautiful, romantic place. Too many fucking people, bruv.
And I want to go there next year.
I mean, go there, but I'd say go off season, mate. I'll just say it, honestly. I know it sounds like a really counterintuitive thing, but if you want to see the beauty, right, you may miss out on some sun, but do you want to be in a really hot, busy place where there's nowhere in the shade to stand?
I mean, if you're going to go there, go for the heat. You don't want to go, you're not exactly going to go to, I don't know, Miami in the winter, are you?
Yeah, but Miami's just for partying, innit? And beach.
I don't know, just trying to think of the heat, the hottest place. I don't know, Las Vegas.
The sun. You wouldn't go to the sun. And, all right, Las Vegas. Las Vegas, you can go any time of year as well. It's always popping in Vegas.
I'm trying to find a good example where I'm not winning, am I?
Everywhere, just, do you know what it is? It's just everywhere. There's nowhere busier than these places. I think Venice has more people that are tourists there than there are people that live there every day. That's crazy. It's like Notting Hill Carnival. Love it, yeah. Me, 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days if you want to count the little vibes that go on beforehand and afterwards. But every summer, if it was like Notting Hill Carnival, I'd hate it. Do you know what I mean? If you lived in Notting Hill or the surrounding areas, it'll be hell. It feels like that. It feels like that over there. Anyway, I was up in the, I was up towards the countryside, the Tuscan parts of Italy for a little bit of relaxation, Billy. Somebody gifted us a trip to Ola Spa and Thermae, which is their thermal pool. I'm going to tell you where it is situated specifically. It's set in Val d'Orca Valley. The Ola Spa Resort offers 1,000 meters squared of indoor and outdoor swimming pools. Now, included in these swimming pools, Billy, there are some thermal ones which have hot water in them, which is quite interesting being in there on a hot day. quite nice. But it's like freshwater thermal pools, which are meant to have like minerals in them, which heal you. As well as regular outdoor pools, which are nice and fresh that you can chill out in. Also got lovely grounds as well. So it's kind of like a luxury hotel where you can pull up, give your keys to the porter, you park up your car, check into the hotel if you are checking in. We didn't check in, we just went there for a day. And yeah, just literally just splashed around in the pools for a little while, sat in some recliners. It's just like being up and out the way of everything in the countryside in Italy. Lovely bit of food as well. Had some seafood, some squid. You get me? It was a nice little vibe. It's the kind of place where you can order drinks that can be brought over to you. There's a bar you can chill at. They've also got their own spa facilities. I had a massage, which is very good. And there was also, I can't remember what it's called. There's this I think it's like a Roman bath or something like that you can go into, and it's really warm. And it's like a Red Sea kind of vibe. Adler. I'm saying it wrong, aren't I? It's Adler. There's this Red Sea kind of vibe. I think it's a Red Sea treatment that you have where you go into this really salty pool, and I'm not very good at floating, but you just lie in it on your back and you're just floating around.
Is it like a lazy river kind of thing?
Kind of like that, but it was like really salty, the pool was, so that basically it meant that you were it was more dense, so you were more likely to float.
Yeah.
Don't drink it though.
Not going to taste nice.
Not going to taste very nice. And yeah, it's all about being relaxed when you're there and feeling at home. So they've got like specialist doctors and therapists and beauticians if you want to get yourself looking and feeling great. They've got their own treatments, which are specific to Adler. And yeah, man, it's really, really a nice way to kind of de-stress yourself. So if you ever want to head up into Tuscany area, we'll put a link to that in the description for how to get now. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed this year. Didn't have a chance to talk about on the podcast, but yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. You get me? What else? We got our hands on another Lexus a little while back called the 450h F Sport. It is a 4th generation range of the Lexus RX SUV. Updated for 2020. It's looking a bit edgier and sharp and sexy. Which I like Lexuses for. They do look quite spaceshipy, innit? Quite spaceshipy, like loads of legroom as well for myself in the front and back. Like what I always do when I check out these cars is I hop in the front, move the seat all the way back, then hop in the back and see if that will actually fit me and a couple of mates in the back as well. Because a lot of cars have lots of legroom at the front, none in the back. You know what I mean? Pretty good.
And did it work? Was there space?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was good. It was fine.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. It's a hybrid. It's not a plug-in hybrid, so basically it charges its own internal battery from the momentum of the vehicle. So when you're driving forward, it charges the battery. If you do charge up the battery enough after a long enough drive, you can actually put it in EV mode, and it only uses the electric battery to charge the vehicle.
That's quite intelligent. I quite like that.
It is. If you slap your foot down though, you're going to rinse the petrol. But if you're cruising around town and you're just doing little trips and you're not heavy-footed, you can find yourself using a significantly smaller amount of energy. And the battery on it feels like it's getting bigger and bigger in these vehicles as well. So, you can travel around for a day and cruise and not use a quarter of a tank. Do you know what I mean?
It's very good. I mean,
nice.
A lot of people do worry about those sorts of things, because at the end of the day, it does cost money. So
yeah.
That is quite good to know.
Exactly. I mean, they've sold 3 million of these, so it's doing well, this vehicle, but they're just trying to push it to the next level and kind of make sure that it keeps evolving, it looks good and it feels good. And it can also have a sporty touch as well. So this 450h Sport, you can actually throw into sports mode and it has got a little grunt to it. Can't lie. Does this thing. But I also like the fact that it's kind of positioning itself as an eco-friendly vehicle as well, which I think is really important moving forward. On the outside, the car looks cool. It looks nice. It looks edgy. It looks fresh. The rims that we had in it are great. We've got loads of pictures up on the website. And inside the vehicle, my thing before used to be navigating the displays inside a Lexus, because I felt like some of the vehicles that we tried in the past were a little bit too complex and not as intuitive. I feel like they've made it a bit more intuitive because it has a trackpad in it that kind of rests underneath where your palm would. If you were to kind of rest it slightly to the left of your leg or take it off the steering wheel for a second and use the armrest. And that trackpad you can use to kind of just quick select functions, just press pause, play, cool. Do you know what I mean? And it enables you to keep your eye on the road. And it also has a heads up display, speaking of keeping your eyes on the road as well. So it's got like a little reflective piece of glass and it shines, kind of some heads up display so you can get information and keep your eyes on the road.
Well, on the windscreen, yeah.
Yep, on the windscreen.
I always thought that'd be kind of cool that if one day someone had Google Maps type AR technology built into the windscreen, you could just look at the screen, see where you're going. You don't have to look at a phone or a panel somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's super important, like to just kind of keep your eyes up. I think a lot of the time people are looking at these big display electric vehicles and there's all this information on the display, and it's not all that big display in the middle of your dashboard isn't for you to look at it more, it's for you to look at it less. Do you know what I mean? And just have that out of the way and focus on the road.
Yeah.
So I think the key is to kind of continue doing that. It's 4-wheel drive. Boy, it's good. It takes off. It's got all the drive modes from kind of eco mode, which is kind of what I leave it in. It kind of feels like a game for me when I'm kind of like keeping the battery charged. I like to kind of be like, how many miles to the gallon can I get? I don't know why. Like, yeah, it becomes a thing. It's fully Apple CarPlay ready now, which I really like because I want to just plug in my Apple phone and crack on. Do you know what I mean? And also you can use it as a Wi-Fi hotspot as well. You get complimentary 3-month 24 gigabyte data plan, but I think I'd like to have a car that I can use as a hotspot as well. I think that's a nice thing to have for you and the fam when they're in the car. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the sound system, yeah, man, it's a good vibe. It's got 200mm subs, 180mm woofers in the front doors, packs a punch, sounds good in the front and back. So yeah, I like it. The reason I'm not talking about it as much as I could have is because we did a video for it too, didn't we, Bill?
That we did.
And I used Seg, some new kit to film it. I actually filmed it on my iPhone, but I hooked it up to the MV88 tool for vloggers. Now, we've been testing the MV88 Shure microphone for a while. We're big fans of it here. The original MV88 is a mic that just plugged into the bottom of your phone, and you just point it, press record with the Shure app, Motive app, and we have had fabulous results from it. What's something, wherever you used it recently? I mean, in terms of a microphone, it's been great when we just need to quickly record, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, we used it on the if you check back on our website and at the same time our YouTube, we used it on the Avengers interview with the creative lead Sean. And if you listen to audio of that was recorded with an iPhone with an MV88.
Yes,
that was amazing.
Yes,
the MV88 Plus. Is even better. Yes, but perfect for the vlogger. I mean, I've seen it in use because I used it to record that. Excuse me, I use it to record the video with Sean. Yep. And Marcus used the microphone to record the audio. And it's very, very easy to use. If you're a vlogger, if you like your YouTube, you do your vlogging. I would say if you're not willing to spend the money for like a DSLR or something like that, you could easily start a YouTube channel with just this MV88 Plus and your phone.
People have said you could shoot YouTube videos with a phone. And in the past, I've been like, Now, I think with the widescreen mode that you're getting, it kind of gives you a vloggy vibe anyway. And the quality that you can record with on iPhones and Pixels and Samsung S10 Plus and Note 10 Plus, all that, it's good enough now, innit, Bill? We're getting there. We're getting there. Definitely. Not all the zoom, but we're definitely getting there. But what we are lacking is the mic, right? And that's why Shure have just stepped in here with this MV88 Plus, because what's great about it is it's got the clip that you can connect the microphone to. Unlike the MV88, which we just used to stick on the bottom of a phone, this comes with like a harness and a clip, doesn't it? The MV88 Plus, so you can actually plug your phone or hook your phone up onto a tripod, which helps you stand it. And the tripod also has a clip where you can put on the microphone. And the microphone has also got left and right stereo recording too, if you want to get some soundscapes while you're moving around. And also you can use the Shure, there's a Motive video app, isn't there? Yes. As well, a Shure video app you can use, which I think is really, really good because it's got presets. It's got displays to show you volume. You can monitor stuff as well with your AirPods. The only thing that I think Apple need to unlock, because I've noticed it's not available in any app, they can't access that widescreen lens using that app.
Oh, the Motive video app.
Yeah, so you can't use a widescreen lens using the app, which is a little bit frustrating for me because I kind of want that widescreen lens in Motive. So as soon as you can make that happen, please make that sure in Apple. Make that good. It also works with Android as well. And it basically just gives you really clean sound easily. Now, in the bracket, you can set it up so that the microphone's facing away from you while you're holding your phone or towards you. I recorded it with the mic facing towards me and I used it to review the Lexus car. So we've got a video to that you can check out at howtoglennow.com, innit, Bill?
Definitely.
So
Crack
check that
on.
out. Check that out. Another cool thing we got sent real quick was we got sent Puma Sonic RS X3 black trainers. Thank you to the gang from Sonic, Team Sonic Racing. I believe that's a game that we are going to be playing a lot more in the new year, Bill.
Yeah,
100%. Decent game. And to celebrate that, they sent us some sick trainers and also a hoodie as well, which we'll put the unboxing video. We did a what's in the box for that too, didn't we?
Yep, that's on the site.
So if you're a sneaker freak, check that out, man. Anyway, I think it's time we get into our best of the year, Bill, isn't it?
Let's crack them open. There's been some good moments throughout the year.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We've had some good guests. We've had some
been
good
some great
laughs.
ones. There's been some great ones. Now, I just want to kind of mix them up a little bit. But there's something that we spoke about and we were supposed to leave in 2018, and that is the question, do you sit down or stand up when you wipe your bottom? Now, in episode 316, we asked Rick Edwards that question, and this is his answer.
And you just think, I mean, this is insane. Of course I want to do this.
Yeah.
And it was it was exactly what I thought. It was insane. I think it was quite fun and sort of sobering, and absolutely, I think it's the only time I've twice actually I've nearly vomited on television. Once in the sewer where I just sort of stood on a bit of there's like the crust. There's a kind of fatty crust in the sewer, and the guy's like, "Don't stand on that." And I'm like, "Go on," and I just went through, and the fumes just sort of pour up. And I mean, I've never, my God, it puts like Portaloos at a festival to shame. Like this is kicking up something like you would not believe. So that was grim. The other time I nearly vomited on telly was when, for some reason, someone liquidised a roast dinner and made me drink it in front of Katy Perry. And you sort of think liquidised roast dinner should be fine.
I think that sounds like
It's not.
good thing, no?
No, absolutely vile. Like really hard to explain, because that's just what's happening in my mouth, right?
Yeah.
I'm just slowly liquidising, and then
Yeah.
But Jesus. I mean, it didn't help that Katy Perry was just sort of looking at me like, why is he doing that? And I didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what I was.
Was that closer to the T4 days then, yeah?
That was firmly in the T4 days. Yeah. You just find yourself doing some very weird shit.
Yeah. So from doing weird shit to stepping on big crusts of shit. I mean, you look a bit nauseous just mentioning that.
Yeah. It was an eye opener and a nose damager. Absolutely vile, but also a genuinely big problem. Like, because when I first started talking to people about it, they were like, "Oh, so you're doing that big Whitechapel Fatberg, the one that got all of the press?" And I was like, "No, I think actually it's another one. I think there's another one down by the South Bank we're doing." And it was. And then you talk to the guys who are down the sewers trying to get rid of this stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I mean, there's Fatbergs everywhere. Like there's huge ones all over London, in pretty much every major city, and we just can't get through them quickly enough." Like, I was with them for like the entire night, so they start about 10 and finish at sort of 4 or 5 or something, and they are hacking away like. We're just down there, just wearing some goggles. One guy got some in his eye. I was just like, "Mate,
Fuck.
wear your goggles."
He was what? He was down there with no
Yeah, I
facial.
don't know why. I mean, he's an idiot, though, to be honest. But
Surely you have to go and get a full set of broad spectrum antibiotics in your eye.
I mean, they're like, they're washing it all out, and he's taking this. I mean, horrible business. But they're just hacking away at this solid. Sort of fecal detritus, and they, in that sort of 6 hours, they got through about, I think it was about 3 meters, and this thing's maybe like a kilometre long, and there's loads of them, and you just can't. It's grim. It's really grim.
So just to clear this up, in case the listener isn't aware of where Fatbergs come from, like what creates. What there's a few things. What are a few of the things that create this disgusting Fatberg?
The main thing is wet wipes, actually. So wet wipes don't break down in the sewers, or some do, but most don't, and they just sort of accumulate waste on them. So it's kind of fat and oil, like cooking oil is a real problem as well. Like pouring, like if you've just done a bit of frying in your pan, then pouring that little bit of oil, that's not helping matters. And it all kind of slowly solidifies and then just blocks the sewer. And they're huge. Like I say, they can be, the length of like 5 double-decker buses. Big old units.
And
they don't actually smell as bad. The actual Fatbergs don't smell as bad as you think they're going to.
Because this is what I wanted to ask you. Because like, there's points when you take it and you break it down basically on camera and you're going through it. And there's points when you're like wearing all of the the hazmat suit.
Yeah. Looking sick, right?
Bro, I can't lie. Looking very Breaking Bad there. Very good. We're going to cook, bitch. But like, you're breaking up and there's like a picture of you like holding a piece of fat, I call it Fatberg.
Yeah.
And you've not got a mask on. And I'm like, has his nose just stopped working because there's so much shit around you? Do you become desensitized? What is it?
It's partly, well, firstly, I don't have a great sense of smell. That made me ideal for the job.
Perfect for the job.
And secondly, the actual Fatberg doesn't stink of shit. It's sort of got it's got a sickly, almost like sweet smell. I couldn't place it. Like, it doesn't smell like anything else I've ever smelled. And it doesn't, it also doesn't look like shit. It's all basically saponified. It's kind of slowly turning into a kind of rank soap. So there's a business idea.
Rank soap.
Yeah.
For people who can't smell.
Soap.
Hey, Rika. Got an interesting fragrance.
Well, I've actually quit all the presenting because I'm just marketing this rank soap.
Here, do you want to try some? You very big eye opener. I don't know. I was an advocate of wet wipes, and once in a while, I may use one as a little treat.
Absolutely fine to use a wet wipe.
Just don't flush them.
But just don't flush them. Just stick them in the bin, and then you're all right. Do not flush them. I know. I was surprised that people were flushing them. To be honest, I just had always assumed that wasn't really straight into the. But then I did talk to a couple of people in a shopping centre, and they were going into some detail about how they clean themselves up. And they were definitely going straight down the toilet, and I could sort of see why.
Yeah,
because they're doing the whole job with wet wipes. They're not just finishing off.
Oh wow! So they're using a few sheets,
which is real. They're using like 5 or 6 sheets.
Quite luxurious.
Quite luxury, isn't it?
Yeah. Were they quite upper class people? Would you say? Were they?
I would say weirdly no.
No. Okay.
But one guy said he was going through sort of 5 packs of wet wipes a week. I was like, mate, you've got a problem.
His ass must be squeaky.
And this stuff is your fault. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the Fatberg creator.
Yeah.
Well, there's a question that the producer Billy has told me not to ask in the year 2019, and he's shaking his head. I can tell out the corner of my eyes.
He actually looks quite excited.
He's quite excited.
There's something in his eyes.
I know what's about to come. So
so we've asked throughout 2018. We found out that there were 2 groups of people that didn't realise that they existed. In fact, it actually further divided into subsections and groups, which we won't get stuck into. Okay. And one didn't know the other existed until I asked this question. Now, when you wipe your ass after you take a shit, good shit, think of a good one there. Like, you've had a good lunch. Mm-hmm. Do you stay seated while you wipe, or do you stand up?
What the? Do I stand up? Are you mad? Are people doing that?
Yeah, man.
No. No.
Yep.
But you can't. That doesn't make any. No, absolutely, I'm not having it. Because apart from anything else, when I'm sat, like if I've got my legs a little bit apart, so I've got access to the anus, and also everything's naturally just spreading out a bit, so my access is nice and clean. I'm in there, as you can see, I'm doing it now. So I'm not, and then I'm right down the gooch, and then straight down. But I'm standing up. Like my cheeks are getting in the way. Like I'm having to manually part.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Not having it at all. I'm not doing it. No.
I'm glad that you mimed it as you did it, because you kind of showed us the subsection as well. So you go for the front. You went down.
Yeah.
The
Do
front.
you know what? I'm not exclusively front. And and I couldn't really tell you why that is. Like sometimes I will go. I guess I'm a maverick.
Freestyle, innit?
Sometimes I will go back, but I think normally I am. Yeah, I'm definitely approaching from the front.
Cool.
But I am 100% sat. What are you doing?
I'm wiping from the back, so I'm doing the lean. So I'm leaning over.
Oh, you're leaning, fine. But actually, the lean's helping because that's doing a bit of a part as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I respect that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cheeky look.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you know.
Yeah. Gonna need another packet of wet wipes there, please.
One of my 5 a week. Matt Richardson holds his balls up and tidies up and then throws it down. So he holds his balls and his cock.
Do you know what?
Out of the way.
No. So the beauty of my anatomy is that I've got quite small balls, so they're taking care of themselves.
I think that's evolution.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, what's the use of balls swinging around?
In the way, hitting the water if you're in America as well. Man, you do.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Water's just too high over there, but that's a conversation for
I'll tell you what is one of these standing up animals? What are they doing on a sick Japanese toilet?
See, they're wasted.
Yeah, they're just standing up.
They're fucked. If they're on a Japanese toilet and Japanese toilet has the bidet in it, fucking hair dryer, fucking little comb comes out and combs your cheeks if you're hairy.
It's beautiful.
I reckon they're fucked because if they go there and get up and it still tries to do the automated stuff, they're just going to get pissing wet.
They're just going to get the backs of their knees wet and then dried off. I mean, nah. I honestly, I'm genuinely disgusted.
What would you do if you found out you're in the room with a stander?
Billy?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Did you shake his hand on the way in?
I'm taking it back. What? Hang on. But so talk me through it. Are you manually parting?
No.
So how are you accessing?
You just stand up and wipe.
No. That doesn't cut it. You cannot get the same kind of purchase or access without a manual part. I've never had to part. Would you say that you probably have a slightly dirtier ass than most people as a consequence of this?
No, I wouldn't say that, no.
Well, I would. And I have. At least look, for me, at least try doing it sitting down.
Am I reaching from the front or from the back?
You decide for yourself. But just try it and see how much better it is. Honestly, it's going to be a revelation. I'm improving your life here.
Well, wait, you should try standing up.
Fuck off. Have you ever met anyone else who's in your tribe?
Yeah, there's been quite a few guests that have been standers as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. Like we've put it out there, and I mean, feel free to put it out as a like you can do the kind of voting on your social medias. Put it out there. We've seen like a 55-45 split.
Brexit thing.
They're out there, bro.
I can't believe it.
They're out there. It could be related to Brexit, actually. It could
living among us.
Could be leavers.
Yeah. Leave?
Yeah.
Will you leave?
No. I was Remain.
Yeah, man. So
wow.
Fatberg autopsy, and glad that you're part of the sitting gang. But you're part of the subsection. You're the front. Well, you're like, we need to find out some code for it. But then I think we might be going too far with that.
Front sit gang.
Front sit gang.
I don't mind front sit gang.
Yeah, and I'm a back sit gang. And then you're a dirty boy, Billy.
Yeah.
Filthy. Front sit gang. And Billy, you're still a dirty boy, can I just say?
Hey, there's a lot of people who stand up.
Filthy boy. We were also joined by the guys from Glassmates. That is Otis, Nigel, and Jimmy. When they get together, they are connoisseurs of imbibation. Mm-hmm. They know about consuming beverages. So I thought, as somebody who's relatively ignorant when it comes to beverage drinking, I thought I'd bring them along and ask them to kind of teach me how to enjoy drinks. So this is from episode 317, and this is the guys teaching me how to enjoy drinks. There's a lot of ignorance when it comes to alcohol, and a lot of people are afraid to admit their ignorance. So for all the ignorant people out there, usually I'll just slap this in the back of my mouth and go, nice, next. So I'll have 6. Yeah, but like, what should I do?
I guess understanding how taste works, first of all, is always important. Your nose is very much a part of the taste experience as your mouth and your tongue. Mm-hmm. If one isn't sort of functioning up to scratch, it will dull or dilute or change the taste of something.
Okay.
An easy way to see that is to literally lock your nose and take a sip.
Okay.
The amount of air that...
Shall I do that now?
Yeah.
You're talking. Yeah,
He's doing it. He's actually sipping. Right, so it's strong, slightly sweet. There is an earthy kind of element, which is the barrel and the wood that you'd be getting from the ball itself.
Ooh.
And then, you get a kind of taste explosion in the back. You get kind of spices and little bits of raisin and fruitcake and things like that kind of floating around your mouth.
It was sweet. That was very sweet towards the end.
Yeah.
So in terms of what you thought you knew of whiskey, where does that sit?
In terms of like, what do I like?
No, your preconceptions of what whiskey is, because this is what our biggest problem is people have preconceptions of so many different types of spirits, especially whiskey. So
did it burn?
Whiskey, yeah, that's it. The first thing I was going to say is whiskey's fire water. When someone says whiskey to me, I think hot, strong. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not the first thing I go to because I think, well, that's a you know. I don't know. I feel like when people go for whiskey, and I'm like, oh, you're that kind of. Didn't know I was partying with someone like that. I should have had a bigger dinner. Do you know what I mean? But this is a lot smoother, and I feel like there's more to it than just a short taste. I feel like there's a long process in the flavor. Right. Maybe you were coaching me through it as well. Like I feel like it helped. But
so the thing with this particular whiskey is that it has a certain element of viscosity to it, or thickness, and that's what you see kind of dribbling down the inside of your glass.
With the legs.
Oh, so it's like with the legs of wine. So when I swirl it around and I look at the that's the viscousness. I can see the legs,
and that basically is what lingers in your mouth.
Okay.
So once you've actually swallowed, everything else that you get is sitting in that viscosity, coating your mouth, coating your tongue.
And then, as what happens is like, so if you think about it, you can probably still feel it in the back of your throat.
Yeah, I can still taste it, yeah.
And what that is that's the saliva in your mouth basically diluting and still making other chemical reactions happen.
Trying to break that down.
Okay, and this is the how do I say it?
Bunnahabhain.
Okay.
That's an education in itself. Learning how a lot of the labels are pronounced.
Listen, there's a couple of them, even when we go to the trade shows. Yeah. And you're like, can I just get your number 31 of that one, because I can't pronounce it.
Just give me that one.
It's Gaelic, and I don't speak Gaelic.
Yeah. Just give me 31 of that one. I'll have that. Yeah. I'm still a bit like that. I'm like, yeah, that one over there. I'll have some of that bottle. Do you know what I mean? I felt quite educated after that episode. Did you, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but sometimes I just like, what's that? Okay, crack it open, drink it.
I mean, what I like about them is they don't make me feel intimidated to not know about alcohol. And they do live events as well, so it's well worth checking out their website or going to Glassmates on Instagram, like, because I feel like if you ask them a stupid question, I think I even said something as well in the episode, in episode 317. I said like something about, I know this is a stupid question. They're like, no, there's no stupid question, because they even say there's guys in the industry that make them look like they don't know much. Do you know what I mean? And they're very, very knowledgeable. Yeah. So it's nice. Like they're a great bunch of guys to kind of find out about kind of the finer ways and the finer things to drink. We also spoke about tech and drinking as well.
Amazon or Alexa has now been given a skill by Talisker to take you through a tasting experience.
Okay.
And actually, you said it's not just Talisker. There are quite a few brands who are jumping on this. After a simple command, Alexa, open Talisker tasting. You're then given. She then asks you which bottle you've got. Mm-hmm. You let her know which bottle you've got, and then via one of the master distillers, you're talked through the experience.
Okay.
So basically, it's Alexa doing. Our job.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
It's competition.
So it's not good enough that I can't work in a Sainsbury's anymore because now everyone can just go to the self-serve tills. There's now No. Alexa, turn yourself off.
But unless you want the Glassmates to be a part of that experience,
well, it could be.
We're open to those conversations.
The thing is, it could be though. It could be because you could have. So the experiences that you're doing, you're doing an event, it's sold out. You could extend the reach of that event. So if there's somebody in another part of the world, you could have a selection of bottles sent to them, or they could get a selection
one, so like they do with the
and they could hear you guys.
The light bulb just went off, and I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want anyone to steal our idea. But the light bulb just blew.
10%, please. I'll say that. I'll say that 10%.
You're in
okay, thank you. I'll take a 7%. I mean, depends how much. I'll take 1% if it's enough. So yeah, it was an interesting experience, but it can be improved though, right? It can be improved.
There's room for improvement.
Yeah.
The pacing
Yeah.
Far too quick. Yeah, you know.
Is it clunky?
Yeah.
Because I've got a Google Home and I use it basically for a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I do find it to be quite clunky. So they've now said they've got this thing where with the one command, where you give one command and then you can give a trailer command.
Open conversation, yeah.
And I've tried it on Alexa as well, and it's still talking to a computer.
Yeah, and the thing is, it always will be. No matter how smooth the interface becomes, it always will be. This one is particularly clunky, but we're talking about it. They started it. They'll get feedback from people like us who have experienced it. They'll improve it. It'll become better. It will leave us on the unemployment line.
I think they were messing around. I mean, I don't think it's going to leave them on the unemployment line. What do you think, Bill?
No.
Nah, I don't think so. Not at all. That was Otis speaking from the Glassmates. That's a great episode. They gave us a whiskey that tasted delicious. I took it home for Christmas. And yeah, man, it went down
Polish that off.
Went down rather well. Also, we were joined on episode 318 by So Solid Crew's Swiss, who did a track with our very own Funk Butcher called Swipe Delete. We asked them what it was about.
Created this brilliant track with Funk Butcher called Swipe Delete, and it's a powerful message with a fun overtone. So I'll let Funk kind of explain a little bit of how we came about.
Yeah, I think that's it in a nutshell. So literally, it was a case of Swiss took a little bit of a social media break at the time, and I posted up one of my old tracks from my catalogue of track features keys called Club Culture, Sound Houseology, and it kind of had the dynamic of a vocalist, a lyricist, a rapper being themselves in their style, and just with my backdrop on it, with a house energy backdrop on it, and that really connected with Swiss, and I think I heard it on Instagram or Twitter, one of them, and I was like, bro, send this to me, this sounds sick. And then after such time, I was taking a social media break. I tweeted that out, I'm having a break, and then Funk just jumped in my DMs like, because I saw that it was just like, oh my god, I gotta get in there quickly.
He's like, bro, before you leave me your email or number or something. And I was like, all right, cool, here it is. And I was like, I'm gone.
It's mad how it's like you're leaving the planet, isn't it? When you come on social media, it's like you're leaving the face of the planet.
That's how it is sometimes, because if you don't really have that connection with someone outside of social media, it's like, oh my gosh, they've literally just disappeared off the face of the earth, kind of thing. It's a weird concept when someone is missing, but they're not missing. They've just gone off social media.
It's weird. I've done a break before and made the mistake of not telling anyone. Like I just went on holiday. My policy on holiday is I don't care what pictures you want. Yeah, you can take pictures, but I'm not on the gram. I might look at stuff, but I'm not posting. I'm having a drink and chilling. That's
and then subsequently you see your face on the side of milk cartons. have you seen this?
Came back to the group, bro. We're worried about you.
It's true, you know.
I was like, no, but then I thought nobody called me. Pick up the phone, but people just don't think like that.
Where have you been? Are you okay? Are you okay? Your family well? Like, bro, like I'm still alive. I'm good.
Haven't you seen the hashtag? Where's Bronzy? But sorry. So you sent a single to Swiss,
sent it to me, and then on my break, and while I was on my break, you know, you tend to jump in your phone, listen to records. I got a few records that I'm working on as well, so I was listening through, and I was like, oh yes, I think Funk sent me, blah blah blah, boom, put it on, and all of a sudden, I was like, yeah, you know what? The concept just came to me out of the blue because obviously I'm driving. I parked up before I actually turned the music on, so I wasn't being illegal or anything. I actually pulled
Disclaimer.
I put it on, and it was on a playlist. Going, and then Funk tune came on. Listening to it, and I put it on repeat. And as I put it on repeat, lyrics were coming to me, and like Jay-Z, I memorized the lyrics. So I basically wrote two verses in the chorus.
That's crazy.
You seriously you wrote it in your head?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, wow.
Two verses in the chorus. You know, after such time, the concept came to me, 2 verses in the chorus. And it was just, the vibe was like, damn. And then obviously it's about social media. It's about selfies. It's about selfie culture, which I didn't intend to happen. As I said, it just came to me. So I text Funk, you know, and I was like, bro, you know what? I've got 80% of this track done, you know? You need to book studio.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, and he was shocked, like, what?
Yeah.
Like, 80% of the song's done. So I booked studio and then just pulled everyone together. I got a friend of mine that has always been bugging me, like, Swiss, when you go studio, please bring me, get me on the song, my girl Kensima, brought her down to do the little girl parts in between my lyrics. You know, funks. It's always good to have the people that are invested in the song from the beginning to be there actually when you're recording. Nowadays, with the advent of the internet, you can send files all across the world and wherever, and people are making songs without that chemistry. So nowadays, I just like to have the person there. So I made sure that Funk was there. I could have just done it, been like, you know what, Funk, I'm going to do the song. Then I'll send it to you. I was like, no, come studio. Brought Kent Samar. She brought a friend. Sky's there, he's of our age group, so it's just a good energy in the studio. And we was all able to kind of contribute with little advice and little... Even my Kent Samar's friend, that has nothing to do with anything, she was putting in advice like, that sounds
she got
good.
up on her feet.
She jumped in the booth with Kent Samar just to give her a bit of confidence. Like, it was just a group effort, a really nice vibe in there. By the end of it, I think there was a twinkle in all of our eyes, like, you know what, this sounds sick. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's a very organic, natural kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Was it one of those ones when you listen to it the next day, it still sounded amazing?
I couldn't stop playing it. I couldn't stop playing it, man. Over and over again. I'll probably text you like bare time. Like, bro, I can't stop.
I remember Funk actually did send me a snippet. I was walking. I remember I was walking down the canal and I was. He says, "Let me just send you something." And he sent it to me. I was like, "Shit!"
That's how you know when you're excited about something. Like, you can't wait to, you know.
And obviously at that stage, it's completely unmixed, unmastered, and what we're still vibing to is just like, it's just a raw bounce kind of thing. And
I made sure the quality control was good as well, man. So we made sure that we, you know, visited a good engineer to kind of mix it down and, you know, got the mastering, you know, to a certain level, and, you know, everything, you know, we took care of the song, man. Made sure that at all levels it was, you know, the quality was there.
And I think it's been a real interesting journey from an independent perspective of how far we've taken a record from natural inception as well, like the way we've come together right up until this space of national radio play and the support it's had. So even in the space where a lot of people might feel like, does music of that ilk, does it still get that support? Does it, that love in this day and age? Do I need hundreds of thousands of dollars and flashy video and
pounds
and exactly. But no, it seems like there are still spaces, thankfully, where, and we want to thank all the DJs that have been supporting the record,
all the DJs that have been supporting, and I feel like you've had, like you said, the independent release, every station that's been playing it.
And Kiss 100, One Extra, Radio 1.
In fact, if you're not playing it, you're not a big station, so sort your life out.
FM, Flex, Flex, everyone, man, everyone. The support's been immense, bro. Like, it's exceeded our expectations.
And it literally has only been out for the past 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
exactly. So this is a Swiss and Funk Butcher collaboration. Both of you are good at making things that sound great at the base level, right? But there's always a deeper meaning. So let's talk about the deeper meaning of this song, right?
So Swipe Delete is basically about pointing towards selfie culture and how much it can become an imbalance in your life because you're always trying to present your perfect self. Do you understand? So we're not always perfect. We wake up, we yawn, we fart, we do all these human things that, I'm not saying you got to fart on social media, but what I'm trying to say is that you're not presenting the other side of yourself where people can see a very sober version of reality. It's very extreme. You know, you got the girls on Insta, they know how to do the angles with the phone. They put one foot, I know all the girls' tricks now. They put one foot in the front of the other to make the bum look big on this cheek. The other one's over there. You meet them, the bum's not really like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get these things happen. You know what I'm saying? So
the disappointment.
Decepticons.
Contouring culture, which comes from the transgender culture and the drag culture, where women are
using the makeup to
use their makeup to accentuate certain features and that. You just get normal girls doing that now. So we're going towards an extreme in society via the advent of selfie culture, whereby people are just presenting a very skewed version of reality. And, you know, our the artwork of our single pays homage to that.
Yeah.
Whereby I'll let you explain the kind of...
Yeah, and I think the artwork is testament to the level of care that we put in to the whole product, not just on a sonic level, but also in the first space in which you have interaction with the record, which is the artwork. And what we did is we took an image of what we perceive to be a conventionally aesthetically what you would class maybe as an Insta model, and we juxtaposed it with a woman who looks very tired, stressed, fed up kind of thing. I think she's in a dressing gown, and we gave her, with the kind of the Instagram counter, we gave her more likes, more more engagement than the one who should, where we led to believe should do. And what we've done is just subverted the image of or the concept that how you present yourself, your natural self, how you feel. If you feel rubbish, you feel rubbish, but that should be the self which you should be able to present to the wider audience. So shouts to my creative director at Houseology, Naomi Ray. She put that together, and and we've kind of done it in a recognizable style as well. In like we've paid homage to that kind of the graffiti style that Banksy uses, kind of thing.
Now you said it. It's very Banksy like.
So we've used someone who, in the realms of the art world, he is a conversationist as well. So we've really thought about it on every micro level, and it's been quite refreshing working with an artist in an actual sense. An artist thinks about the art rather than just putting words on there, or putting sounds on a program or MPC or whatever, but thinking about what conversation is going to occur from this being put out there. And so
we even have the conversation about the hierarchy of levels you can go to with how we present this conversation to the public. You understand? On one level, we could just talk about selfies. On another level, you could talk about the presentation of self. On another level, you can talk about the pathological results that come from, that type of culture. Which, FOMO, fear of missing out. Narcissism. There's so many different things that can pathologies that can come from the extreme side of selfie culture. And psychologists' rooms are being filled up more and more, psychotherapists, from the fact that people are people are suffering from ailments that come from that culture. Do you get what I'm saying?
That's what concerns me the most. That concerns me the most. And I feel
body dysmorphic disorder. You know what I'm saying? All stuff like that. Do you know what I'm saying? I
mean, there are some things that have been positive, I've got to say. So there's been a trend in healthier eating and more gym because there's more of that going on online. But at the same time, like you said, body dysmorphia, eating disorders and stuff like that, all because people are kind of chasing this impossible visual, do you know what I mean? Or this look that only a few can really pull off. And like augmenting their bodies, putting stuff in your face or your body, so you look good on camera, even if it might not look that good in real life.
Exactly.
And I think it's again alluding to what Swiss was talking about. It's the levels of the record. So on a surface level, it's just a great, fun record. It's got a wicked beat behind it. It's a great, catchy hook. But the conversation which starts beyond it, and one of the words that the phrasing that Swiss told me when he first thought of the concept was cognitive dissonance. And we sat. I remember we was talking in the car. I was in my car. I just parked up from football, and he was talking to me about the dissonance in the sense of, we're behaving in ways but we're not really aware of, and that's I guess in some ways the frightening aspect of social media, that you approach someone in the street and they don't even know that they have fallen foul of the social media etiquette, but they wasn't taught it. They've just somehow had an awareness of the correct selfie to take, the correct selfie to post, the correct tweet to post. There's almost like someone has gone around us individually and given us social PR training.
Social script,
social script as to, there's a list of subject matters that you can talk about that's happening in your life. What one would you post? And instinctively what stuff to talk about and what stuff is a bit uncouth kind of thing. So that's interesting.
That's social engineering. Even some of the bigger platforms in music, they won't post your stuff unless it feeds into this basic narrative do you understand? I've seen certain platforms, all they post is either a bit about football, they either busting jokes or it's trap songs. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's almost like that's all they represent. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, come on, bro, man. Start expanding people's minds. Sometimes you can be the one to expand the public's mind. You don't have to always conform to what you think they want, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what, Bill? I'm gonna say this with my chest. He's probably one of the best lyricists that we have in the UK. Best rappers. The stuff that he says is like, you listen to it once and you hear one meaning. You listen to it again, you hear a second meaning. You listen to it a third time and it's like got a third meaning. And then you listen to it another time and go, it just sounds sick as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some artists that can have sick sounding lyrics, other artists that have really complex lyrics, but he manages to tick the boxes. Do you know what I mean? Him and Funk getting together on Swipe Delete was a good look, man.
It was a good track. It was a good track.
Yeah. We also had Dev on the show, episode 321, where he spoke about something that Billy needed to get more information about.
Apparently.
One more thing as well, and I'd like you to help our very own Billy with this, because this is something that
Really?
I think I want you to make him aware of, Dev. It's a little article that we've come across.
Well, he doesn't use condoms. Billy, what are you playing at, man?
I think I'm just showing Dev the article, which is on howtocleanout.com, and I think it's just a public service announcement. Apparently, this is something that needs to be known by many people.
The article is called "Don't Use Condoms Twice." So apparently, some crazy people out there are doing something we never thought we'd see. They're reusing and washing condoms. Just look at this tweet from CDC STD. Who's that? CDC.
They got a tick.
We say it because people do it. Don't wash or reuse #condoms. Use a fresh one for each #sex act.
Were you aware that so many people were rinsing out condoms and using them?
That's what they used to do.
Turning them inside out. Really?
That's what they used to do. Yeah, in like the 40s, you would get like given like your granddad's Johnny or whatever and be like, here you go, son. Like, and you'd use it, and then you'd finish. Like, fuck off. Stick that on the sink with like the wash. Look it up.
Off.
You'd like stick it on the sink with the washing or whatever. Like, rinse that out. Pop it in your top pocket.
What were they made out of? Like Michelin tires then, to get the wear out of them?
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think it was like latex technology back then. Yeah, what would it have been like putting on like a fucking balaclava made of like fucking rubber?
This has got to be someone playing a joke on me at Google. I just googled 1940s condom. The first one that came up is called Nuttex.
And they come in a tin, bro. That's
Nuttex in a tin. Nuttex condoms.
Yo, if
you're gonna nut, take it to the next level with Nuttex.
If you fucking pull a Johnny out in front of a girl that's coming out of a tin, bro. If she still lets you like sleep with her after that, that's gangster right there. You're pulling out of a tin. Giving a little tap first.
Oh man, they were radium condoms.
What is radium? That don't sound like something you should put on your dick, does it? Like if you're like put this on, it's gonna like make you perform amazing. Cool. What's it made out of? Radium. I'm like, nah.
You're either gonna become a superhero with a super dick, or you're gonna die.
I don't want to risk radium.
It readily reacts with nitrogen on exposure to air, forming a black surface layer of radium nitride.
Yeah, that's too many chemicals already right there.
It's a chemical element with a symbol Ra, an atomic number 88. No, it's got an atomic number. Wow. How dangerous is radium? There's no evidence that exposure to naturally present levels of radium has harmful effects on human health. They're usually caused by gamma radiation.
Why are people... Does it not explain why people are reusing condoms? Is it an economy thing? It's fucking Brexit, isn't it? I bet it is. I bet Brexit's the reason when people are trying to save money on Johnnies by reusing them. Because you can't buy a new one, man.
People weren't aware. A very small percentage of people that is growing, like we're talking like 5-6%, but it's quite important. So people aren't aware that oils...
Like homeschooled pagans or something. Who's reusing the...
Young people aren't aware, apparently.
Idiots.
So Billy, I just want to put this to our producer Billy, just to make sure that he's using condoms once. And
just once, Billy. Once, man. That's it. Just use once and then throw it in the tie knot in the end and throw it in the bin.
Yeah. But a bit of advice though, if you're having it for a posh wank though, I'm just saying, bruv, a wash and reuse ain't going to be a problem then, is it?
Why is it still a little bit embarrassing to buy Johnnies from the shop?
Because you're saying I'm about to have fucking.
Like, especially when you like run in there at like 2 a.m. on a Thursday morning. You're like, boss man. No, further light. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And he's looking at you going, are you going to fuck? And you're saying, yeah, I'm going to fuck.
Do you ever try and like buy other stuff to go with it? To to like lessen the impact.
Random petrol station stuff, like a rabbit hutch, and then some condoms.
Anything you buy with it is gonna look weird. Like you be in there trying to buy like a
flashlight,
pack of super malt and like some Quavers, and then also give me a pack of condoms as well. Like, why?
Anything you buy, people are gonna associate that with the sex. So if you buy Quavers, he's gonna think you're somehow using the Quavers during
Quavers
sex.
off someone's back. What's wrong with this guy? We need to start owning it. No, because you know what is more embarrassing than going to buy condoms?
What?
Chlamydia, bruv.
Hell yes.
Illegitimate children.
Hell
bruv.
yes. Hell yes.
Fucking gonorrhea.
And the rest
is drippy willy, mate. That is embarrassing.
Fuck that. And
genital warts is embarrassing. You know, I got a funny STI clinic story, right? Oh no, two. I'll do two quick ones. One, as I was coming out of STI clinic, this is like the one that used to be in Archway, so I was probably about 19, 20 years old. And as I was coming out, this girl tried to chat me up while I was outside. She's like, "Oh yeah, where you going?" I'm going home. I'm going home to go cross my fingers until I get my results. And she's like, "Oh, cool, can I get your number?" I'm like, "Nah, you're not really trying to chop me outside of fucking ST.
Was it apparent?
Unless you show me a clean bill." I'm like, unless you show me your results where we're like, "Here, I'm all clean." Like, what are you doing? Anyway, another time I went, this woman comes in, woman comes to get me. I'm sat in this room and she like pulls this fucking, I sit on the little like table bed thingy, pull my trousers down to my knees, and she's like sifting through my pubes, you know, and like trying to look for any bumps, any lumps, whatever, any abrasions. And she just kind of looks up at me and she goes, "Oh, I've actually got 2 student nurses with me today. Do you mind if they come in and observe the procedure?" So I was like, okay, like just trying to be helpful, just trying to help out. And then like these 2 like 19-year-old interns come in and pull up a chair and they sit around me, and the light is not dissimilar to this microphone. It's like they're like shining this light down on my fucking dick and balls and sifting through it, lifting up the sack, whatever. See, that's all, it's normal there, and and I just had like this. It was not sexual at all.
How did your dick react to this then, knowing it was under that scrutiny?
You know what?
People react differently to that kind of pressure.
You know, I was very proud of my little guy. Right?
Well done.
Didn't get scared. You know what I mean? Realised what was going on. Oh, bit of an audience. Okay. All right. But it was not sexual at all. Funny enough, we like bring this up because I tell you where I was a little bit worried during the SAS Who Dares Wins thing. Yeah, it was so cold. Sometimes, and sometimes, you know, you might jump in some cold water and you get out and it's still cold, right? After that couple of days, I remember there was one time I stripped off, bro. I looked down at my dick and I was like, "I'm sorry, is this my dick from when I was 4 years old? Where is it?"
Bro, your dick's probably looking to go back in time, not just inside you. Your dick's probably disappeared, bruv. Your body's probably consumed your dick.
You ever had that one where it's like shriveled and twisted around? You're like, what? I don't see the back of it. Like, what? Hey, this is on telly, man. What are you doing?
Your balls and your dick were inside you for the last half of that, weren't they?
Oh, mate, it looked like it'd been fucking choked out. Like someone, like he'd forgotten to tap out.
Your dick got mummified. Your dick looked mummified.
Like, come on, man.
Shit. Who knows? You might see it in the next few episodes of SAS.
I worry. I'm really worried that you might see my shriveled, twisted willy in one of these episodes. I really am.
Another reason to look forward to.
There you are.
Yeah. I never saw much of Dev's shriveled, twisted willy on SAS. He got saved, didn't he?
I don't think there was many nude scenes in there.
I believe there they showed a couple of boobs, not many penises. I felt like that was a bit sexist, you know. There's a few boobs that were just thrown out there. People that I know as well. I was like, oh, seen your boobs. So yeah, Def was on SAS Who Dares Wins Celebrity Edition, and we actually had a bit more of a conversation, some more dialogue around how just the experience in total.
The not knowing what you're going to do next, they're so good at that. They're so good at, you know, you've got sometimes camera crew around you, but you stop noticing them after a while. You're not allowed any contact with them. You're not allowed to ask, for help or whatever, or some water. You're just supposed to just ignore them and get on with it. But it's very difficult to think of anything past what the current task was, But then, saying that, I had a lot of opportunities over the course to really take things in. So I don't know if you've seen the toilet situation that they got there.
I heard the conversation. Is it a piss and a shit?
Well,
or is it a shit and a piss in that? And you burn it. That's all I heard.
The toilets are cubicles next to each other that have elbow height walls on them. So if I'm sat next to you having a shit, I'm looking in your face. You know what I mean? Like, I can see your whole top half of your body. There's no hiding. And I remember the first time I saw the toilets, I was like, I'm either going to wait until 3 a.m. to take a shit, or I'm just going to hold it in for like the whole week and not go. But obviously, you can't really do that, because if you're running up a mountain and you want to, you just got to go. When you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah.
And I think the second day in, I was like, they're shitting with the girls. I've just like sat next to the girls having a shit, being like, what do you think we're going to be doing today? And I remember there was one morning I went out on my own to have a little morning shit, like I said, quite regular. And, we're in the middle of the Andes, man. And I'm like sat there, I'm having a shit, and I'm just looking at the skyline. We're right in like a sort of, I don't want to say crater, but, we're just surrounded by snow-capped mountains, And like one side was beautiful clear skies, the other it looked like there was like a snowstorm or something rolling. And I was like, wow, this is the best place I've ever had a shit before, ever. This is not even like, forget top 5, this is the best place I've ever had a shit before. And then I remember the moment was kind of ruined a little bit, because, where I'd started shitting and then inevitably had to piss, it like angled through one of the slits, made out of wood, and then I sort of accidentally pissed all over the back of my trousers as well, so it's ruined a little bit. Like, this is one of the best places I've ever had shit. I'm pissing everywhere.
Fuck. So where we're at now, so we've seen the first episode, so this is early April, and I've seen clips. They've showed little montages that show different parts of the show. Now, one of the most interesting parts about the show isn't just the physical stuff, it's the mental side of things. I feel like in each episode, they focus on one of the contestants or two of the contestants and speak about, they break you down. So I feel like this is an inevitable thing to come. Now, I know you can only tell us so much, but how was that personal experience for you? Because I feel like they sit there and you see them reading up about people and getting as much information as possible. Did they try and do that to you and kind of work brain on you?
Yeah, so one of the things that I wasn't expecting from the process, I think I'm quite good at being, I'm a very private person. And even though on my radio shows and stuff, I don't mind exposing myself a little bit or being quite honest. But at the same time, I get told the same thing from like almost any girl I've ever dated. It's like, you never talk about yourself, or I don't really know much about it. I don't know. I'm trying to get better at it, but I do feel weird opening up. And it's one of the things, we get given a psychiatrist to talk to, like both before, during and after this whole process. And the woman, Victoria, that I've been speaking to, she just broke me down so well that, you think you're hiding something quite well, and actually you're not. You're wearing it out there on your sleeve. She said to me after the process, she was like, you started very much on the outskirts of the group, and then by the end, you were like, you were bringing everybody together, and, you're making sure everybody was all right. Like, is everybody warm? Is everybody fed? And that's how I am with my close friends and family. That's how I am. I'll do anything for my close friends and family, but just because of this job, you kind of have to keep people at arm's length a little bit. You can't just let everybody who rolls up to you like, hey, come be in my circle, come be my friend. So like learning that about myself, that's who I am. That's just who I am anyway. I am a naturally tactile and caring person, and I don't know, there's even like points in my life where I felt like I weren't allowed to be like that it was seen as a sign of weakness or something, that maybe I just care too much. No, but yeah, just kind of coming out of it thinking, it's all right to be like that, but without giving away too much, this is the first time I've ever done anything this public that is that exposing. You know, it was a full spectrum, full range of emotions that I experienced during the whole process.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And would you say that being part of the SAS, they require to get that level of openness from you, or get that amount of detail from you? Do you think that's part of the process? Like, they need to know, like, because I feel like if you and I are going to go overseas on a Black Ops mission and potentially never come back again, and we've got to do some real fucked up shit that no one may never know about, I feel like I need to know you almost better than you know yourself, and vice versa, to be able to work the best. So is that part of the process?
Well, put it this way, man. So there's an interrogation part.
Yeah.
Of I don't know if you've seen the past series, but there's an interrogation part. Now, the reason they work you so hard during the week is to get you as mentally drained, physically drained as possible, so that they can. I mean, look how people are when they're just a bit hungry. You know, like, hangry is a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, just give hands on to eat, you'll get moody with the people around you. You have something to eat, like, oh, my fault. Sorry, I was just a little bit hungry. Now imagine you're hungry and you're tired, and now you have to go out and do a mission together. You got to work as a team, and, you know, naturally, you know, that's going to be all your insecurities, all your weaknesses are going to be, you know, magnified so much in that situation. But again, they're so good at identifying all of them. So put it this way, without going into too much detail, what I'd learned, you know, from chatting to some of the staff, is that during your actual training, and yes, I mean, they do it for like 6 months, a year or whatever. You know, we did it for a few days. But part of the interrogation process, they'll try and personalize it to you. So they'll find out whether it's the noises that they'll play to you or whatever the situation that they'll put you in, they'll personalize that to you. So, for example, if you've got kids or something, they'll use that as part of the interrogation process to really, really try and make you break. It's nuts. It's one of the things that a lot of the staff members were saying, that's a part of the training that they wouldn't want to do again. It's the interrogation bit, because
staff said that.
Yeah. Maybe they were just, I don't know, but that was the worst part of all of it.
Really, that was the lowest point.
Yeah.
Fuck. And apart from the beautiful shit and pissing on your leg, what would you say is one of the highest the highest points?
As naff as it might sound, the relationships that I built with everybody who I did it with, I've never bonded with a group of people like that before, ever. Right from day one, we were all in it together. Everyone was helping out each other, and we were a family, because, you know, we were all equal in that moment. It didn't matter if we were, you know, guys or girls, or how, you know, strong we are mentally or physically. It didn't matter in that moment. We're like, right, we are all here together, and the only way we're going to get through it is together. There were times we were, you know, huddled together to try and keep warm, and, you know, making sure that, you know, here, have my egg, you haven't had anything to eat today, or, you know, like, share my rations or something. And that's probably the part that I really missed the most coming back from it, is being in a unit of people that felt like they would, you know, they'd do anything to help you and look out for you. And yeah, the camaraderie, is that a word?
Yeah, camaraderie.
That's what I missed the most coming out of it, and that's what I really enjoyed. You kind of wake up with everybody, and you have a little laugh and a joke, and you might be, you know, beasted that day, but then you like come back and someone will put a little bit of like Sudocrem on your back or something like that. You know, everyone was just kind of looking out for each other. Like, how many times in your life do you have an opportunity to be in a unit of people where you're all equal, you're all like part of this weird little community, and then also after that experience is finished, who else is going to understand what it was like? You know, not people who sat there watching at home. Like, they'll never know. They might have a tiny little idea. They're not really going to know what any of that was like. So that's another reason why we all still keep in contact. You know, we got a little WhatsApp group. Everyone messages each other, and you know, it's obviously quite difficult for us all to meet up because everyone's busy and professional and stuff. But yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the whole process. It's just like bonding with this group of before strangers, and now they're like family now.
Would you do it again?
Tomorrow. I'll go tomorrow. If they were like, we're doing it again, we lost footage, we're going to go back and like film it again, I'm like, cool, let's go. I loved it so much. I find it so hard to motivate myself sometimes that having Foxy or Ollie or Anne come bursting through the door, being like, right, 10 minutes, like, out in the square, full kit. I'm like, yes, let's go, man. What we doing today? I loved that, you know, and there were some of the challenges that was so difficult. Like I run a marathon, right? Every day was harder than running a marathon. I'm not just saying that. Every day we did something that hard. Marathon, you run in a straight fucking line. You run in a straight line with the whole of London like, come on, you can do it. Giving you like jelly babies and that orange slices. On the back. That's another weird thing about the London Marathon, right? Sorry to like switch back and forth. But when would you ever accept an orange segment off a stranger in the street? Like, I'm not a rude guy, yeah? But if you come up to me in the street and offer me orange, I'd slap it out of your hand and get the fuck away from me, you weirdo. You offer me no orange slice? What? Where did you get it from? Your house? What is going on? But the London Marathon, it's some like little kid, even now, like accepting food of kids, like they're filthy, man. Not even like digging their arms out. Do you want some oranges? Like, I just took an orange slice of a little kid, like, cool, man. Thanks, Junior. Like, on my way. One day a year.
What if Junior was like, here, Dad, I've got an orange slice for you, and then was like, yoink.
Oh, that was me.
My bad.
Weird.
Yeah.
Fuck, I forgot what I was talking about. How did I get? Oh yeah. So look, I've run the London Marathon with very little training. 10 days after coming back from Jamaica Carnival.
So that's like minus training, isn't it? Really? That's like.
No, if you think about it, because.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I know what you're getting at. Go on.
I mean, all the parties you're going to, you're dancing.
Right.
On the actual carnival route, I think it's something like, 13 and a half miles.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
And that's double because you're walking at a weird pace, you're kind of like chipping, and you're dancing like the whole time as well. So that's sort of walking a marathon.
Balance that out with the liquor.
Just walking a marathon, man.
Yeah.
But every day was harder than running a marathon. But you know, some of these challenges was so physically demanding, and you just at the start of it, you're just thinking, there's just no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. And you do it. You don't look at what everybody else is doing, or they're that far, or you don't look at what anybody else. You just focus on what you're doing, and you put. And I don't want to sound like some like cheesy motivational speaker, but you're putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in the other. Just keep going, and you look up, and it might be an hour, it might be 4 hours later, but eventually you kind of look up and you're like, "Fuck, I did that. I didn't stop. I didn't listen to that part of my brain saying just fucking collapse, just give up right now." And I feel like I've tried to come back home with that same mentality. Like, okay, what are the things that I look at and go, oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, it's too difficult. Oh, someone else is already doing that and they're way better than I am. Well, like apply that same logic of put one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. Just keep going. So I kind of came back feeling that we put so many limitations on ourselves of what we can do. Fuck the physical stuff. Like that was obvious to me. I'd said to myself, oh, I'm not going to be able to go past this point, and I fucking did it anyway. But I'm talking about like the mental restrictions you put on yourself. You think, well, I might be doing a few things that I enjoy, but I've got no space in my life to do anything else. I can't learn this new skill or go and try this new thing out. I don't want to step outside of my comfort zone. But you're putting that restriction. No one's come up to you and been like, you can't do whatever it is. Like, you're putting those own restrictions on yourself. So I tried to come back and think, let me not do that. Whatever the glass ceiling that I've created for myself, let me fucking smash through that, or at least raise it up a few levels, you know?
I think that's what the boys wanted from you as well. Like, I think that's what they're trying to show you can do. They're kind of making you realise a potential that you wouldn't have unless you went through that process. Yeah. Do you feel like they had a lot of love for you as well? Because it's easy because when I watched that first episode, at times I'm like, you lot are fucking pricks, you're just doing this to fuck with them. But then at other times I'm like, wow, like this is something that you guys are doing to others because you've gone through this and it's made you into some of the best operatives in the world. Like the SAS is respected very highly when it comes to special forces.
I'm not just saying this, right? I love those guys so much. Like, I'm going to get a little bit like choked up just thinking about it, but they're so amazing and so supportive. And like maybe Ant would say like the only one who, he was a little bit more, he was sort of like a distant dad a little bit, you know, because we didn't really like get a chance to like really like hang out with him, but say, you know, like Foxy and Ollie and Billy, at some point, you know, whether it's they were briefing us for a mission or they'd be showing us around the accommodation, like, it just felt like don't get me wrong, they demand total respect. Don't you ever try and take the piss. Don't you ever try and think like, yeah, we're pals. Don't you ever do that. But I felt like I'm just going to show them respect. I'm not going to try and overstep the mark or whatever, try and take the piss. But they were so incredibly supportive and so amazing. And to just share that experience, just to get a tiny little snapshot into their world and how they've trained and how they've become who they are was just amazing. I think sometimes, you know, they come across a little bit harsh on telly.
Just a little bit.
Some people are like, oh, you know, will they like getting in your face? I'm like, nah, not really, you know. If you're slacking or you're bringing the rest of the team down, or you're trying to get off by not doing as much work, maybe instead of lifting your feet 6 inches to the ground, you're just trying to get away with like 1 or 2, they're going to be on you, you know, because they don't want anybody thinking that this is going to be an easy ride. But every single one of them had these incredible moments with, be it just the odd words of encouragement that they would say to me, or just like a bit of advice, or just, you know, a general outlook on life was just, it's like when they talk, I just want to listen.
Yeah, man, deep stuff. And you know what, Dev, big respect for doing that, man. You don't realise how hard it is until you kind of hear it from his point of view, because we only see a few bits already together. On a lighter note, we also asked Dev the good old question, do you sit down or stand up when you wipe your botty?
You know, I've heard you lot talking about this before. Here's the thing I don't understand, okay? Why is it one or the other?
We've had hybrids.
There's so, you know, every shit is so different. Like, you never know what to expect. You got to adapt. You know, you can't. It's not just a one straight rule for everything. So, I'll tell you what is a game changer for me. Like last year or so, and I don't give a fuck about Fatbergs. Right? Don't come with me that. Baby wipes, bruv. Baby wipes is a game changer. I've almost got it down to a perfect science, right? So I do usually my morning movements quite like heavy, quite dense, you know what I mean? But also quite a lot of product as well. So I'm usually on the toilet a good 15 minutes just to make sure I get everything. I call it sometimes like my stress dump. Just all my stress, just gathering in my gut, just get to first thing in the morning, get on with the rest of my day. Right, so what I'll do, that first wipe, I'm not even looking at that, bruv. That's a fucking write-off, man. I don't need to look at that. I know what that's going to look like. It's never going to look good.
It's going to be a mess, a hot mess.
I'm not even looking at it. Yeah. I'm like, I'm like, no, I'm not even a little peek. No, bruv, gone. That first one is a write-off. See you later, mate. Then the next one, all right, now we've got to see what we're working with. All right, have a little peek, cool, fold, environment, fold, have a little wipe, then baby wipe. Baby wipe comes out now. Because I now got the main, you know what I mean? Got baby wipe comes out. Using ones at the moment, coated in fucking coconut oil.
Jeez.
I'm saying.
Jeez.
So that first one goes now. I have a peek at that as well to see that what are we working with. Usually, on a good day, it's looking all right. But here's the thing. You're getting a bit of residue left from that baby wipe. You don't want to pull your trousers up. Still got a little bit of baby wipe residue. You don't want that. So now, tissue again. Aggressive wipe this time. Aggressive to get off some of the residue. But also see what's going on. Fold, environment. Aggressive. Have a look. Throw. Now, one more tissue.
Polish off.
For just a gentle, let's see, because what I'm trying to do with that last one is replicate what my clothes are going to be doing against my asshole for the rest of the day. Okay, so if I go a little, whoof, just kind of gentle kind of, whoof, and have a look,
clean,
then I'm done. But here's the thing, if by that first baby wipe one, if it's still looking a bit, I might be here for a while, I did a few courtesy flushes, I will stand up. I will stand up at that point, right? Because again, what I'm trying to do is replicate my day. How am I going to be moving, you know? Like I don't know if you've noticed about me, I'm extremely flexible, you know? Like very supple joints, right? I like to move around a little bit, you know? Like sometimes I would just be waiting at a bus stop and I just like
touch your toes.
I just move myself around a little bit, trying to see get myself into a right angle and see what But again, there's been some dumps that I've done that require you to stand up to make sure you're getting everything. Because one thing I will not accept as a grown man is a shitty ass. I won't do it. I won't do it.
It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
If I'm at your house and I need to use all of your toilet tissue just to make sure that I'm not even a little bit shitty, sorry, bruv, you're going to have to go without.
Because there's nothing like, and I've learned through experience at a young age, having a shitty ass on a hot day.
Horrible.
Why?
Horrible.
Why would you?
All the horror of a skid mark. It's just so unacceptable to me. As so unacceptable. Even just a little bit. It's like, oh my God, I've let everybody down.
Yeah.
Oh, I could look at myself in the mirror and be like, you fucking animal. What is that?
Skid mark fucker.
You can't even look. Are you supposed to do anything? You can't look after yourself. You can't even wipe your ass properly, bruv. So all I'm saying is, if you lot are committing to only stand up or I only sit down, I feel like you're selling yourself short. You know, adapt and grow. Adapt and grow. Adapt and grow. Don't confine yourself to just one thing. That's all I'm saying.
So with that being said, the majority of the time, where are you at?
Here's the other thing. I don't know if anyone's brought this up yet. We're not even shitting properly.
Oh, we've had the conversation about having the. I think Jordan Crisp and CJ Beats were talking about having the
We're not even shitting properly.
Yeah. So we need to be squatting.
How dare us
them?
How dare us talk about whether we stand up or sit down? Because we're not even shitting properly. We're supposed to be squatting. Like I remember having some very bad noodles in an Indonesian airport and having to try and use the like squat hole in the floor thing that they have. And I paced around that for about 20 minutes, bro, going, there's just no way. My Western arsehole is not going to be able to like get shit. I'm going to shit all over my shoes. I mean, I might not be able to get back up again. I'm worried something might fall out.
Down the hole?
How am I supposed to do that? I had to go to the desk and level. I said, listen, I'm from London, okay? We don't have toilets like that. I'm not going to be able to use that. You know where he let me use the toilet? In the first class fucking lounge at the airport.
Jeez.
The only one that they had in the whole airport. It's like, thanks, man.
Was it a good toilet?
You done me a solid. It was amazing. But I did think about it afterwards. I thought about it so much, like, why can't I just do the little squat shit? Do you know what it is? I don't think it's something that, you know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I think that's what it's down to. I think you can't be 34 years old trying to squat and shit for the first time. You know, either you've done it before and you know what to expect, or you're forever going to shit how you shit.
I want to get you the stool. And see how that is. Because you're not squatting, you're still sitting, but you just have your feet raised a little bit.
So like what? It just like kind of...
Yeah, it's just a little stool.
Lift your legs up a little bit.
Yeah, a little step, yeah.
I'm just trying to picture what that'd be like to use like right now.
Dev's right now, he's got his feet up, his hands up by his knees up by his face, shall I say.
That might be, that might be quite enjoyable.
Yeah, try it out.
I would take one of them off you.
Happy birthday. Yeah, be a little birthday present.
Don't buy it for me for my birthday.
Christmas? Valentine's?
I should nearly tipped over your whole desk. Sorry.
But it's funny, inside that whole conversation, you touched on something. This has been going down on Mum's Net and Huffington Post. Yeah, that is where we find time to research stuff. So there's a whole thing people talk about: scrunching, folding, and other methods like that, because apparently folding means the paper's thinner and your fingers are more likely to tear through and give you poopy fingers.
Listen.
Scrunching gives you a bit of roughness to clean properly.
Mate. If you're scrunching up the tissue to wipe your ass, you need to get your fucking life together, mate. What is that? That's not effective. What are you cleaning up? Like some fucking spilt yazoo? What are you doing? Like that needs to be neat and folded. Like it's efficient. How do you fold the scrunch? You can get shit all over your hands. What are you talking about? You can't fold flat always.
So you can't fold a scrunch. That's dangerous. No, but you can fold.
That's such a waste. You'd have to scrunch it after one wipe. It's gone.
With the wet wipe, do you fold it or you don't scrunch? It's a folded wet wipe.
Okay, here's the weird thing about using the baby wipe. Yeah, you do have to fold it, but you're probably getting a little bit of shit through the wet wipe, right? It's not.
It's
It's
feasible.
porous, isn't
It's
it?
feasible. It's feasible.
It's
And
porous.
the coconut, in your case, the coconut juice could transfer through the wet wipe, and the juice may have touched your body and then touched your hand. We're going to wash our hands anyway, right?
You're 100% going to wash your hands. But all I'm saying is like, a baby wipes porous, so you're probably getting a little bit of doo-doo.
Yeah.
You know, in your finger, like every time you bend, there's a little bit. Yeah.
If you're putting your hand down there, odds are there'll be fecal matter on your hands.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's why you go wash your hands, man.
Okay.
And I've seen like 2 people this year come out of the toilet after having a shit,
They need to die.
fix their hair, and just walk out of the bathroom.
Fuckers.
I'm like, you know what? You're the reason like we still got like the fucking plague in certain places, man. You're the reason like kids are still being born with rickets, bro. Like
Yeah,
wash
you
your
fucking
fucking
prick.
hands.
Disgusting.
You're gonna shake my hands, give me like ringworm or something.
Disgusting.
You're gonna go sneeze over a salad or something. Like, come on.
You're going to scratch your eye with your shitty finger and get pink eye. You dirty fucker.
Flip it out,
It's
man.
disgusting.
I hate we have to share the planet with those people.
So you're a folder. I think I'm a folder as well. I'm not a fan of using wet wipes though because of the Fatberg stuff.
Fuck them Fatbergs. You know, this is the sad thing, isn't it? About, I think the difference between our generation and say kids. When we were told in 150 years' time, like all of East Anglia is going to be underwater or whatever, global warming, we're like,
Ain't gonna be around.
I'm going to be long gone by then. I mean, we will be here. We're going to live forever. By the time we're 80, we're going to be in a fucking server or something.
Yeah, man,
like that. But
downloaded.
they would have done Chappie, but
Yeah.
in real life, like we'll be Chappie.
Yeah.
But for, you know, our kids, like that's kind of a reality for them. They're like, well, like in 80, 100 years time, like my kids or whatever, they're going to have to. So personally, I know this is awful. I'm not really thinking that much about the Fatberg. Right? I'm like, that's a necessary. And I don't think I overindulge with the wet wipes either. But it's probably a really awful thing. But I value the cleanliness of my own arsehole more than I'm concerned about Fatbergs.
Could you compromise with wet tissue paper? Using a bit more.
Nah, dude.
If you had a little jar of coconut oil, maybe
what
spray the
happens to
water.
tissue when you wet it? It breaks up.
So you'd have to use a bit more.
I just get broken up tissue in my arsehole. You never seen that before. You never seen a girl you like. Okay. Do they know, by the way?
Nah, they don't.
The girls know that
How
we
can
see
you?
their arsehole so much. Like if you're in a relationship with a girl, right? You see her arsehole so much, don't you? You see it so much.
From angles that they never, and without using a mirror and squatting over it, from angles that we would never see.
Like I've seen my arsehole maybe like twice in my whole life. I've had a look at my arsehole and go, nah, okay.
Yeah.
I see. All right. Right on. But, you know, for every like long-time girlfriend I've had, like I've just seen like I could probably pick it out in a lineup. If you like showed me, if you had like one of my girlfriends, and just like a lineup of arseholes, I could pick it out.
Just the circle.
I could pick it out. I could pick it out like 100 arseholes.
What the actual like balloon knot or the coloured, the slightly darker skin around the?
No, I'd need
ring.
I'd need to see like a patch.
There's making a patch that's like 2 inches by 2 inches.
I need to see like a patch, and I could be like,
bum holes.
we
are
went
like,
out for about 5 years. That was
yeah.
all right.
They're like fingerprints. They're like irises.
It's no one the same.
Iris shaped.
That's actually the next
security
technology.
So get into this bathroom.
In fact, because you know they say like koala fingerprints are very similar to humans.
Yeah.
But they're like, there ain't no arsehole like a human arsehole. So the next thing will be like, you know, before you unlock your phone, you
Put your phone next to your ass.
like, hold on a sec, bro. I want to say, hang on a sec. It's locked again. Hold that for me, Rob. No, not the phone, my cheek, bro. Hold on.
Do you think people are aware of how unique their arseholes are? I don't think people know about how unique their arsehole is. Fucking mad. Arsehole technology.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
That's awful.
there we go. Arsehole technology. They're going to be using that in the future, like fingerprints, bum prints. Get me? Billy's like, okay.
I think we should. We haven't asked many of our guests this year about it. I think we should bring that question back. You've got some good reactions.
We got some other. I mean, we had some interesting one. There's wiping from the front or the back, which I thought when you wipe your ass, I thought you just wipe from the back.
I mean, even as a standard, it's still from the back.
Some people talk about wiping from the front.
That's just odd.
And remember, there's some CJ Beats turns and faces the toilet when he wipes his bottom.
Yeah, that's Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. Right. We also joined, one of our episodes that put us on the front page of iTunes this year was when we were joined by the magnificent Jazzy Jeff. Now, we speak a lot about music, technology, and everything in between his music and tech. But one thing you may not know about Jazzy Jeff is he is a bit of a wizard in the kitchen. So we spoke about his legendary barbecue hot sauce, episode 322. You haven't got too much time with us, right? So
listen, I'm with you.
You with us, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I wanted to just, you mentioned cooking a few times, and I just wanted to say, like, there's that Billy, the producer, mentioned that you make a smashing barbecue sauce, and I just wanted to know, is this
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to know the secret of this barbecue sauce.
Jazz gave you the look like,
Yeah, Jazz looked at me like,
man, you need
hell.
to taste this.
You got to understand that being a producer or a DJ is very, very similar to cooking.
You got the sauce.
You gotta know how much ingredients to put in stuff. You gotta know when it's too much sauce, too much this, too much that.
It's crowd
You know
pleasing.
what?
Yeah, it's crowd pleasing. Yeah.
All it is. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, if I'm gonna make something spicy, I'm gonna add a little bit of sweet to it because I want the sweet to kick you first, and then the kick come in, and you're kind of like, that's like somebody dropping something unexpected.
Yeah.
So like I would just. I think when I finally moved out on my own, I would just sit in the kitchen and I would just experiment. I remember the first time, I wanted to make something and I picked up the phone and I called my mom and she just ran down, because she knew I always looked. And she just ran down, do this. And she, let me tell you the main thing that you have to worry about, cook everything slow. She's like, if you're frying chicken, don't fry it fast. You'll fry the outside before you fry the inside. If you cook everything slow or everything medium, you have the best chance for it to getting done. So once you get that, then it's just really your taste. Like, oh man, I tried this. Okay, I know the typical salt, pepper, and then it's kind of like, oh, let me try a little bit of onion salt. Let me try a little bit of garlic powder. Let me try this. Oh man, okay. So what if I dried my chicken off and I soaked my chicken in milk? And then took it out and put it in a bowl and put hot sauce in a bowl and put season and tossed it all around and then floured it and shook all of the excess flour off and fried it. Like, oh my God, like that's great. Like, and you just it was really like me DJing. Like, let me just start adding this. Sometimes you add that, oop, that's too spicy. I didn't like that or whatever that was. That made the chicken fry faster because of the pepper or whatever. And it's just really playing with stuff. So, it was really the same thing with my barbecue sauce. It was kind of like, you get barbecue sauce. I'm not going to season, my steaks and all the rest of this stuff to get to the point that I'm going to use barbecue sauce out of a bottle. Like, I'm not going to trust that. Like, okay, well, I taste this. And it's not this enough. So let me add a little bit of this. And let me add this. Let me add this. And then you just start getting to the point of like, okay, so I want to start from scratch and make my own sauce and then put that kind of stuff in. And then your fan base is your friends. I'm having a barbecue. Everybody come over and Jeff made the sauce. Like, oh my God, Jeff's sauce is amazing. And then somebody's like, you should sell that. And I'm kind of like, I don't really have time to do that. And it's like, oh man, you should do it. You should do it.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple points on it. I'll give you a couple points on that sauce.
I find it fascinating as well because I don't know if you noticed that the Colonel actually DJs now as well. Did you see about?
Yeah.
So talking of chicken and DJing.
I'm just, listen, I saw that and I just said, I don't think there's anything good that's going to come out of the Colonel DJing.
I almost forgot about that. The KFC DJ that caused waves at festivals. I thought that was a good idea because good press is press, isn't it? But good press or bad press, you get me? And all those months later, I'm still partial to a little kufka. How about you, Bill?
Big Daddy is the one.
You're an undercover expert when it comes to KFC,
I mean, I'm partial to a bit of KFC. I mean, my favourite one, but I don't have it a lot because it's expensive, is Five Guys.
Five Guys.
It's expensive though, like 16, 17, 18, could get up to 20.
What are you ordering? 17 quid?
Yeah, you get bacon. You get a bacon and cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Which is like 8 quid.
Yeah.
Then you get some chips.
Yeah.
Which is like 5 quid. That's 13 quid already.
5 quid?
And a drink.
Are you ordering large?
Yeah.
You can order small chips and they put bagged fries in there anyway. And then also you can refill your drinks.
Yeah, but this was Deliveroo.
Oh yeah, that is Deliveroo. Oh, you lazy bastard. Right, we also spoke to Jeff about the tech that he has in his kitchen.
My whole house is a tech house.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I am very much into that, and thank God I married a very technical woman. Like there's times that as tech savvy as I am, I'm pushing the remote to my wife, and she's like, "No, you got to push that and do that and do this and such and such." And I was just like, "Yeah, that's cool." Like that's why we're together.
Yeah.
So she's the one. Like I said, she's the one that went to the restaurant store and came home with the French fry thing, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, this is great." This is a lemon press that if you want to squeeze your lemons, this is eat. And I'm like, oh my God, like, so we both are like that. Coffee machines that, you can pour fresh ground coffee in, you ground the coffee up and put it in, and it makes it,
love that.
That it's kind of like, it's not, like, okay, I like the Keurig that you can put the pot in, but you know what? When I can go around the world and grab coffee beans and bring them home and we could try that, oh man, this is great. Oh man, the Colombian coffee is better. What about the Brazilian coffee? And then you have a coffee machine that can actually make it. Like these are just all of the things that, I know my mom had a coffee percolator pot, and she would have to get cans of coffee, and you realize how difficult that was. And then you fast forward to how this is so much simpler now. Like I find myself going over my mom's house, and it was like, "Mom, you need to let me buy you this new coffee machine." And she's like, "I like my old coffee." And I'm like, "You don't understand that you can do this and this." That it has transformed and has gotten so much more, deep in the future with tech. But listen, my kitchen is. We got the grill, the griddle, we'll make pancakes, and we take the grill off the stove and put the griddle and it's a pancake griddle. So we make we have waffle makers, and I got a waffle iron that we whip the waffles up and make that. And, you got this. And so, it's the same principle with everything.
I like that, man. I like that. I want to see this kitchen. I got to be honest, man. It sounds like the kind of kitchen I'd fall in love with. Waffles over here, barbecue sauce on the chicken.
Yeah.
I'm drooling.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I wanted to go to his house after that, Wouldn't you want to eat at Jazzy Jeff's house?
Yeah, it'd be good. I mean, I found recently we're talking to these celebrities that a lot of people are massive tech fans that you would never have thought.
Do you know what?
Jazzy Jeff goes, "Oh yeah, I'm a massive tech fan, and I use a lot of it in the kitchen." You'd be like, "Whoa."
But when you think about it though, like tech is becoming, even 5 years ago when we started the pod, it was way more like tech lover or not tech lover. But now it's like, because of and I'm going to put this to like Apple and the iPhone, because people have worked out that the more user friendly you make something, the better it is. I feel like there's been user friendly devices that are lifestyle devices, and they've used technology to make them more so. So for example, cars, something that could be very intimidating to you if you're not a car person, can become quite a pleasure to drive. And once you get in the car and the seat will adjust itself for you. The mirrors will adjust itself for you. It might say to you, "Hey Bill, you usually go to the gym on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Do you want to go to the gym?" Little things like that. It makes a car more pleasurable to drive. Yeah,
so I mean, I've thrown my man Elon in there because I'm quite a big fan of Elon and Tesla and that.
Yeah.
Electric cars, a few years ago people are like, nah, I don't want an electric car. But now, because you jump into a Tesla and you've got like the big iPad style navigation system, and that UI is super simple to use.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I might use one now.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree. And why not? Why not? We also spoke to Jeff about his favorite part in the place. We also spoke to Jeff about his favorite place in the whole wide world.
And surprisingly, it was here in London town.
Like whenever I have time off in London, like you said, we saw each other down at Western DJ. I go down to Western DJ because I'm, anytime I get a chance to go into a store and actually touch some stuff, because we don't have those stores like that like we used to. There used to be point in time that you can go into 10 different stores and see equipment and records.
Yeah.
So to be able to go into a store and look like, even if I don't need anything, like what needles? Oh man, you got new headphones. Oh, what's this? How does this work? That's where so much of our musical dialogue used to come from in those record stores and in those equipment stores. So, I always have to make my rounds, there, do a little bit of digging, and just, go see some people, go eat some food. London is kind of like a second home. I think when you travel, when you get to a point that people in a particular place, and you know how to get around in that particular place, there's a level of comfort.
Yeah.
Like it's the funny thing is when we're all on tour, we land in Hungary everybody's in the hotel. I'll call you, hey, what you doing? And I'm sitting there chilling. Hey, what you doing?
Yeah.
When we land in London, everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, yo, as soon as I'm going to put my bags down and I'm going to go up the street and I'm going to get me something from such and such, and we'll go to Byronburg, get a burger, and then I'm going to, jump on the tube and go down to such and such. And then it's like, yeah, I'm going to jump in the Uber and go see,
Yeah.
So that's when you kind of know that you have a level of comfort. And that's basically, so the next couple of days doing that, I'm finishing up a project back home that I got to touch up on some mixes. So, at some point in time, I go and sit in my room and just listen to make sure everything is cool.
Yeah, man. He loves the London. He loves the London end, so he chills out here. Should we? Yeah, go on.
Just goes to show how small a world we live in. That you regularly shop in West End DJ, you used to work in West End DJ, and DJ Jazzy Jeff said that West End DJ is one of his go-to shops when he comes into London.
Oh yeah, man! Like when he comes to London, like I've been in the shop. I was in the shop when he used to come down, and it was just like, because what it was he used to basically electrical products that you get in America run on a different voltage to here. So if you bring your stuff from America and plug it in here, it blows up. Whereas English stuff you take over to America, it might not work as well because there's not enough electricity flowing through it. Does that make sense? It's like a whole 12240 thing. So he'd come over here and just say, look, this is what I need for my set. And we'd provide that for him and sort him out all of his hire kit. Because we knew what we were talking about. And we were like, oh, well, he always wants it was a DJM 909 and 2 CDJs and whatever, blah, blah, blah. He'd like call ahead. We'd sort it all out. And he'd come and just jam, talk to us. And obviously, it's Jazzy Jeff, man. So we were just like, yo, do you know what I mean? So pleasure to have a legend like that on the show, man. One of the best DJs in the world, if not the best DJ in the world. I'm going to put it out there. And also somebody who's not afraid to kind of keep it real. Like one of the things that really stuck with us was when he had the conversation. We won't play a clip of it. Please listen to the podcast because he puts this in much better words. Is he hates DJs that moan about other DJs using other tech like sync buttons and stuff. He goes, I don't care. Come in, entertain the crowd like no one else can, and you've done your job. Do you know what I mean? Sick. So sick. A couple more before we get out of it. Some other great guests. Travis J, who comes from great comedy stock, but has really proven himself as a great comedian. His podcast, Undefeated podcast, had Lennox Lewis on it the other day recently.
Did you get him on?
Lennox has come on the pod.
I know there was a bit of like back and forth. I said back and forth. A little bit of like a little bit tense, a little bit sore.
There's some
on the social media.
Yeah, between AJ and Lennox Lewis, because there was some conversation there. And also Travis has asked Lennox to train him to fight KSI.
Oh no, I was talking about Lennox talking to the Travis J and his boxing podcast. He responded to something that they said on the podcast.
Yeah. And then they brought him on the pod. That's
good. That's good work.
There's an episode. Yeah, that's really good. He popped on the show to speak about one of the greatest, and also, well, I'm going to put it like this: one of the highlights and some of the lowlights of his career, and how they've really helped to shape him into the great comedian that he is. I think one thing that stands out in your career recently has been a co-sign from one of the greatest comedians living right now, Dave Chappelle. Quote unquote. In fact, let's find a clip for this, man. We need to find a clip for this. We need to play this out.
My hero. You are my hero. He's amazing. My hero.
Play that one more time.
My hero. He's amazing.
He said, Dave Chappelle said, you are amazing.
Bro.
How did you get in the room together first things first?
The whole thing was crazy. So he's over here touring, right? Yeah. He's doing a whole lot of dates, massive venues around the place. And he contacted Kojo. Kojo was opening up for him on that tour, right?
Shout out to Kojo.
So he contacted Kojo and said, yo, I want to experience like an underground comedy club. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you put that together? So he got the Backyard Comedy Club, East London. And Kojo just dropped me a message. Now, I'd already seen that the gig is happening, right? Because Kojo sent the broadcast. So he sent the broadcast first, and I'm like, yo, boom, I got my tickets. Then he messaged me afterwards. He ain't even really seen my message yet. And he's like, yo, I'm putting you on stage for this lineup. I'm like, fam, hold on. So how's this night going to go? He goes, yeah, so Dave is going to come. He's going to talk to everyone about it. So basically the plan for the night was that we were just going to have a chat with Dave backstage about our process to stand up, right? And then Dave might do like 10 minutes on the end. Get there, Dave's hosting. So now I'm like, I didn't know I was going to have to go on essentially after him at any point. Because like him hosting, that means he's going to do like a couple minutes in between. Bruv, yeah, hilarious his couple of minutes is to like a standard man. So man's there and I'm just like, hold on, I'm going to have to go on after Dave Chappelle. So you can imagine like my nerves are fever pitch. Even when I walked into the venue, right, I walked in and I saw him at the front of the door talking to someone. And as I'm walking up to him, I'm thinking to myself, right, I'm about to meet my hero, but I don't want to do it like this. So I just walked straight past him and I went inside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The nerves got you.
Yeah, the nerves got me. Because I was thinking to myself, right, I don't want to be interrupting you and the convo is actually important and I mess it up. So I was like, nah, let me just go inside. And my boy was just like, yo, you see how's Dave? And I was like, all right, swear down. I just lied. I just fully lied. I was like, nah, I was a bit shook.
Yeah.
So, because the thing is with me is like, you know, they always say, you know, meet your heroes and don't ever meet your heroes because it's, you know, underwhelming. But I was just like, you know what, I want to do it, but I want it to be when I'm doing what I'm doing as well, rather than just meet you in the street and get a picture. So like we're backstage and, you know, he's just so calm. Like I was so it was just such a dream moment because he's sitting there chatting like he's one of the guys. Like I was just chatting to him and he's just like, I said, right, like, you know Kanye personally, innit? He was like, yeah, man. I was like, is he as mad as he portrays or is this just all an act? He's like, no, he is like that 24 hours a day. And I was just like, I just got like some direct information about Kanye West. It was just surreal. So then the gig starts like, and you know, we're all backstage. Me and Bubba Tunde were just there, nervous as hell, bro, bouncing off each other, just whatever. And Judy Love, I got a shout out at Judy Love because she pulled me aside and I was hella nervous. She pulled me aside and she just goes, yo, you got to understand, you deserve to be here. You understand, this is not luck. This is, you know what I mean? You're a respected comic over here. And I was like, right, you know, I appreciate that. That was like auntie advice, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Judy Love, that's great. Man.
Yeah, man. So it's love there. And anyway, gig starts now. I'm on stage and I'm having a dream night. Like, you know, when you have those days where everything is clicking, connecting, the crowd are loving it. It's like those days where it's like, you know, remember you were a little boy, you scored like 5 goals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean? Come off stage and Dave Chappelle is coming to the stage and he grabs me on a man hug thing, leans in my ear, goes, yo, you fucking killed it. Bruv, when I could have cried. I could have cried in that moment because you got to understand, I watched Dave Chappelle as a teenager, just as a way to get myself relaxed to play basketball because that was my thing. And like, just the whole journey, 10 years later, I'm on stage with Dave Chappelle and he's co-signing, man. So afterwards, I go to try and get a little video, just a little Insta Snap thing. And I'm just trying to tell him, yo, bro, you're my hero. Like in the video, I start, I'm like, you're my hero, bro. And he's like, bro, you're amazing. That's a dream night, bro.
What was the first thing you said to yourself when you got home and closed the door that night?
Yeah.
What was going on in your head?
So I get home and I slap on the PS4 because you know what I mean? It's like, yo, I'm sitting there and I'm playing. I start the game, but I pause it and I just have to sit there and I'm just like, yo, I just performed with Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was just unreal to sit there and know I shared the stage with a legend, a worldwide legend. It's not someone that's like a local legend. This is anywhere I go in the world.
Yeah.
This carries with me. Do you know what I mean? I stayed up till like about 4 o'clock in the morning just watching that video over and over again because the journey starting into stand-up, it was just too surreal. It was perfect.
And it's, people forget now, like, I think that there's loads of platforms now for comedians to kind of get out there and there's a load more places to consume your comedy. So it feels like there's a lot more comedians than there are. Yeah. When in fact, I feel like there's always been a lot of comedians, but it's been a harder game to get into just because the internet's helped you share your message.
Yeah, yeah.
So it must still dawn upon you that you're a part of a very small number of people that have had that experience.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think about this often because, like, you know, I remember when my boy messaged me, he goes, right, he goes, you know, you just put a target on your back now, right?
Yeah, man.
And I was like, fam, whatever it has to be, because I'm about this stand-up life.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not in a cocky way, like I'm the best. I'm saying I'm about this, and I live for this.
Yeah.
The pressure of whatever, all that comes with it, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And it's like live entertainment versus like, say, online entertainment. It's a different arena completely because live, it's a whole different set of skills. Do you know what I mean? And I got a whole lot of respect for like what people consider social media comedians because to stay on top of what is relevant in social media and always keep connecting, that's a special skill. But live on stage, that's a different world. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't inherit skills for both by doing one or the other. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just live for it, man.
Yeah, it comes across. I mean, you've been doing it for like 10 years now?
10 years,
10 years in the game. So the amount of experience you've had from, I presume, great gigs, like the ones we just spoke about, and also like going on there and not killing. Do you know what I mean? Having bad gigs as well. So,
it happens.
I like to ask that question. So like, have you got a particularly bad gig that sticks with you as well?
Yeah.
As a reminder.
Bro, this night humbled me and I always refer back to it. So about 6 to 8 months into my stand-up comedy career, so I've started, I'm going around doing these little spots here and there. So I entered a competition at Cotton's Comedy Club. Doesn't even exist anymore. It was an Angel downstairs of a Caribbean restaurant.
I was actually one of the last people to go in there before they closed.
You remember?
Yeah.
That was a good
Got
spot,
some free
man.
champagne buckets. Sorry, what? Anyway, keep it moving.
So so I've entered this competition and I've won the competition. The
Right.
prize is to perform at Camden Centre.
Oh, wow.
Right, so I'm thinking, right, this is the biggest gig I would have done to date. So get on stage and they introduce me, boom, boom, boom. Start my set, and the first couple jokes they don't connect at all. Like I'm talking silence.
Yeah.
But I'm a very, I'm one of those people I'm resilient. I'm like, yo, if this don't work, the next one's gonna kill. So I'm keeping that energy, jokes after joke that die full flat. I'm like, nah, the next one, I'm gonna get them on side. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still there fighting strong. And the thing is, like, my last joke in that set was my big joke. So I'm thinking, if you lot don't like this, it's cool. Because I got the big guns here.
Yeah.
Get to the last joke. And halfway through the joke, they start clapping. So that in my head, immediately I'm thinking, finally, got them on side. That was clap to like, hurry this up, bro. Yeah, like, let's get this off. So now I'm thinking, hold on a minute, this is all out of rhythm. It's throwing me off completely. Anyway, I still power through and get to the end of the joke. And I'm like, yeah, that's my time. They let off one massive cheer. And I was like, you lot are dickheads for that still.
Nowadays, a lot of people take out their Instagram and get that bit and they'll be like, killed it. Killed it. Smashed it. Look, guys, can't wait to come back again.
But you know what the baddest thing was? So the host brings me on, Robbie G, and I'll never forget this. He brings me back on stage and he does this whole long speech about how hard stand-up is and you guys don't know. And then he does this long story about how when he died on stage. So I was like, just to further confirm that I just died on stage, he's now reliving the moment where he died. And then he pulls out the trophy from the competition that I won last week to give to me on stage. And in my head, while I'm taking this trophy, I'm thinking, you lot must think, who the hell did this brother beat to win this? Do you know what I mean? I was like, that night, I ain't gonna lie, I shed some tears.
Yeah?
I shed some tears.
And then put on your PS, whatever it was back then as well.
Yeah, PS2.
Play 2K, killed it. There you go, man. That was Travis J. Make sure you check out the Undefeated podcast. It's really, really good. So it also had James Haskell on the show, episode 333. His wife's mum and dad are Richard and Judy. And he popped over there one Christmas. I'll let him tell the story.
But yeah, Richard and Judy are my in-laws. So it's they're wicked people. So he came on. We've had all sorts, really.
Yeah. Vernon Kay, I think.
Yeah, Vernon Kay presented one of them.
Yeah.
But the back catalogue of people coming on is fantastic. We've got a new 44 shows coming up, so we're going to do some more bits and pieces. Obviously, the World Cup's coming up. I'm trying to get a few other people on board. I want to get some other people from different sports. I might see if I can get David Hay in from the boxing world. And
I think that'd be an interesting chat. He's a good talker, isn't he?
He's a very good talker.
Yeah, he's got a chat.
I'm keen to get a few people in.
What's Christmas like though at Richard and Judy's house though? If you go over to the in-laws.
Well, that was my very first meeting with them. I got invited over to Boxing Day.
That's a big deal.
That is a massive deal,
Yeah.
Most people would normally kind of sort of crap their pants and just not go. But I fronted it. I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. What's the worst going to happen? Rolled in, entire family, her three brothers, all their girlfriends, me, Rich and Judy in there. It was brilliant. It was all going really swimmingly until they told me that Richard was a bit of a animal in the kitchen. That when he's cooking and balancing him, you don't want to disturb him. He once told Jamie Oliver to fuck off out of the kitchen when Jamie Oliver came in. So I bowled in, thought I'd break a bit of ice, give him a bit of stick, and he just went, fuck off. And I literally went, whoop, turned around, came back to the table and was like, head in hands like this, going, Chloe was like, what's wrong, babe? And I was like, I don't know how to say this, Chloe, but my dad just told me to fuck off, and I just don't think I can. I mean, it's pretty awkward. I don't think we can. I probably have to go home now because when some parent told you to fuck off, you think it's really bad.
Yeah.
But Richard just breezed in, like he said nothing. We were best of friends as everywhere, and apparently tells everyone to fuck off. So it was kind of quite the perfect thing. But we bonded ever since. Judy hasn't told me to fuck off, which is good.
Fair. I mean, she tells you to fuck off. It's real.
I think it's really good,
Yeah,
especially she's like a kind of a best-selling author, academic. I think if she pulls the pin out on that one, it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad news. But was the food good though?
Very good, actually. Very good. Yeah, it was really good. He makes a naughty little gravy, actually, kind of a homemade.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of sherry in there. I think there's a few bits and pieces and a bit of port. I think it's very nice.
Yeah, that's a good gravy. With a bit of booze in it, mate.
There is.
Can you imagine that? Richard from Richard and Judy being like, can you fuck off? We also spoke about how hard James works and his drunk punditry. In fact, can I change this, Bill? We also spoke to James Haskell about a bit of a blunder that he had in his punditry career and the reason behind it. So here's a little clip of that.
I feel like you have to make stuff happen for yourself, hence me setting up the radio show, hence me kind of doing all the social media bits and pieces. And
the sing song? Sorry, mate. Carry on, mate. Sorry. Just came across a clip.
You fucking stitched
just
me up
came
again.
across a clip.
Having a sing-song. Wait, it's the best clip ever.
Just you're speaking about broadcasters, so just came across this clip of you. I mean, as a broadcaster, I think everybody has their highlight reels. This is definitely one of yours. I'd like you to explain what happened afterwards, but listen carefully to the clarity James brings to this conversation on Sky Sports Rugby.
Sing-song? Is it everyone into the ice bath? What will they be doing now? I think you'll have a sing-song. It's important to celebrate a victory, whether it was the prettiest thing in the world. I think you've got to get around with each other, ready to regroup next week.
Hey, do you know what, right? Everybody laughs at that. I genuinely thought at the time I was having a stroke. honestly, because what happened was that somebody in the truck had put a delay on my headphones, right? And there's an app that you can get on your iPhone, and Chris Moyles does it on his radio show, where if you put your voice on a certain time lag delay and your headphones and you can hear it, your brain can't function and you're unable to speak.
Yeah.
And the guy had done that to me, so I could hear myself in my headphones. And when I started to talk, it felt like I was slipping to one side or standing up. I was like, oh my God, this can't be what I sound like. Because in my mind, I was thinking clearly. I was like, right, have a sing-song. Even if it's not the prettiest game together, you want to regroup, make sure you celebrate the little victories, and go again. But it came out absolute bollocks, right? But as I was talking, I could hear it and I thought, I've heard talk back before, maybe it's fine. And then I looked at Will Greenwood, he was fine. I went off and mowed the lawn, and then everyone went, laughed at me, and I was like, what for? And they went, did you not hear yourself? I went, that's not how I sounded. And they were like, yes, it was. And then my phone just went, blew up, and everyone's like, and obviously you got all the football fans going, mate, you're such a fucking mug drinking, don't drink, you fucking idiot. Like everyone's going completely mad, like shouldn't be pissed, too much hospitality. I was like, I haven't had one drink.
Was that fully sober then? Really?
100%. I was like I am now, 100% sober.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I thought you were going to level with me and be like, yeah.
No, I tell you, I wouldn't give a shit. I'm retired. I would honestly be like, no, but mate, I'd have to have been on a load of narcotics and a load of drinks to be able to do that. That's the kind of shit you see like Kerry Katona going on like Good Morning Britain on, or like Britney Spears smashing a load of like Vicodin and sleepers and after a 24-hour flight.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't even when I'm drunk normally I don't change.
I mean, what was great about that though is that it's your straight face. Is that you look like was it the Fast Show? There was the guy that was like, and I was very drunk.
Yeah. Me, the third Duke of Winborn, in the girls' changing room, my age, my reputation. I was very, very, very drunk. That's exactly it is like that. Yeah. Sing song, the whole thing was made of marzipan. That's exactly what it was like. Yeah, that's essentially what I felt like. But I was legit 100% sober.
Yeah, so I guess somebody got in a little bit of trouble then for that delay then, right?
Well, no one took the accountability. I just weathered it. I had so much so I had to go on Soccer AM to deal with it because all the football fans were like getting into me still, but they call things like football fans. They just call you the CUNT every 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So you're like you're like, oh God, calm down. So I had to deal with that. But it's just basically public shaming, and everyone now brings it up. So thanks, lads, for doing
no problem.
It's fine, but it's
It'd be rude not to.
It's perpetuating that kind of full, just that bit of myth. Is he going to get loose? Is he not going to get loose? Is he crazy? Can he speak? Can he not speak? But hopefully it hasn't affected my bookings.
I think it will make your bookings go up. I think there are people tuning in just to see, right, has he got this?
I've actually subsequently done Sky a few times since, thank God, I got back on the horse. Because I think if work had dried up after that and that was my last moment in the sun, could have been real bad.
Yeah, it would have been, man. But yeah, sorry. Look, we'll put a link to the clip in the show description. It's a tweet that went out. As a geezer who just had his like Sky.
It was my mate.
Was it your mate?
It was my guy called Dan Robson who plays for me, and he primed ready to stitch me.
Who needs enemies, right?
I know.
Who needs enemies when you've got mates like that? So that was it. James Haskell, Drunk Punditry. And those were just some of the highlights from How to Kill an Hour over the year 2019. I think we're going to have a really good year this year, Bill. What do you reckon?
Definitely. We've got some good ones lined up, hopefully.
Got some good ones in the can already as well, man.
Yeah, there's some good ones to come out, and be interesting to see what we can talk about in the coming 12 months.
Should we stop asking the shit question now?
I think we should talk. I don't know. It might become the thing. It might become the thing. Oh, I've listened to the podcast. Are you going to ask me the question?
I don't know if I want to be known for the shit. Like, you're the shit guy that asked the shit question. Hey, it's the shit guys. Hey, it's the shitty guys. Hey, shitty guy. Hey, guys, the shit guys, man. Poop emoji. I don't know if I want to be that guy.
but it got some good answers.
All right, fair enough. All right,
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we should can it. I don't know. Can it?
We'll see. Put it in. Can it? Oh, good one. That was a shit joke. That. All right. Well, this has been How to Kill an Hour. I've been Marcus Bronzy,
and I've been producer Bill.
This has been our best of the year episode. We hope you have a wonderful 2020, and yeah, we look forward to being in your ears real soon. Plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us.